Hello, everyone. Can you please let me know if you can hear me and see the PowerPoint? Okay, good. I'm just going to wait just a couple of minutes to let people um, log on to the webinar. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please either put them into the chat or in the Q&A section of the webinar, and we will answer those questions at the end. Pavanya, can you hear me now? Okay. Lavanya, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why she can't hear me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So today's presentation is Get 'em Hooked, Get 'em Booked. All right, and I am doing this presentation because basically I kind of wanted to discuss, you said she might have to check her speaker settings. Okay. Type that to her. Sorry, you guys. I just want to make sure Lavanya can hear me. Okay. All right. So again, I just want to thank everyone for jumping on to this webinar with me this evening. And I'm excited to conduct this webinar because the concept that I'm going to discuss tonight is just one part of the many concepts that I am going to discuss as part of my new course that I'm going to launch. It's called Stop Dreaming and Start Building. And by developing this webinar and my new course, I realized that everyone has the potential to become a virtual assistant business owner. Not just a virtual assistant, but a virtual assistant business owner. And I realized that being a business owner is a choice that everyone has. Everyone has that option to make that choice. And I want you guys to pull out your pens and your paper, and I want you to take notes and listen to me carefully because the words that I'm going to offer you this evening, basically, I'm going to offer you the opportunity to see yourself in a different light. And I know it sounds a little deep, but I kind of want to switch your mindset from, oh, I want to be a VA to I want to be a VA business owner. And you'll see that VA business ownership can be more than just a dream. As long as you take the necessary steps to build your business, and as long as you take the necessary steps to get the information that you need to close any knowledge gaps that you may have, all right? And this information is critical to help you get started on your journey into VA business ownership. So, all right, what if I told you, we're about to get even deeper. What if I told you that you were closer to VA business ownership than you think, and that nothing can stop you from getting there but you? All right, you are closer than you think. It's being a business owner is not some abstract concept. It is something that you can legitimately get by hard work, by closing any knowledge gaps, right? So being a VA business owner is not some dream that's just so far away from your grasp. And I'm proof, right? I was able to leave my day job in less than a year after starting my virtual assistant business. And I know for sure that can be you. And, you know, some people, they have these quick to launch programs and all that stuff, you know, and that's fine if you want this to be a side hustle. But I mean, you do have to plan. You do need to have some sort of business plan, not like a traditional business plan, but some sort of business plan to help you map out how you were going to launch and grow your business. So think about how long you've been at your current job or your last job. I want everyone to type into the chat. If you're on the webinar or if you're watching it live in the group, I want everyone to type into the chat. And this is not a rhetorical question. I want everyone to type into the chat, how long have you been at your current job? That's what I want to know. Tamika says 6 years. Faith, 2.5 years. Lakeisha, roughly 6 months. Who else? All right. Chandra's been freelancer for 1 year. So let's move on. Now, I'm going to play a little game with y'all. It's a little what if game. And again, hey Diane, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you jumped on in the live, Lavanya. Girl, you so smart. Why didn't I think of that? Diane said 2 years at her assignment, 5 years within her company. All right, so what would you do if there were 10 clients behind a wall that was ready and willing to work with you ASAP? Now, don't let this image fool you, right? So you can't walk around the wall. You can't climb over the wall. This is just an image to show you that, you know, you're on one side and they're on the other side. So say it's like the Great Wall of China. And again, this is not a rhetorical question, folks. This is for real. What would you be willing to do if you knew? How would you get through that wall? What would you do if you knew for sure you had 10 clients waiting for you to pay you your rates? Right? To pay you your rates. What would you do? And again, this is a lot of give and take with this presentation, y'all. So I'll wait for y'all to answer. I'm not slick. I want y'all to answer the question. Lakeisha says I'm slick. Come on now, I want to know. Tamika says, find out who knows the people on the other side of the wall and get me an introduction. What else? Lakeisha, what would you do? I want to know. I want to know. Diane said, break the hell down that wall. That's right. Sandra said, it's time to get some tools and start blasting the wall down. Y'all are not playing. Y'all are not playing. All right. All right, so now let's switch it up a little bit. How much would you be willing to invest, right, for the knowledge on how to get to those clients? Would you pay like 5% of your fee, 10%? Tamika says $500 to $1,000. Okay. How much would you invest? That's what I want to know. If you knew you had 10 clients ready to work with you right now. No questions asked. How much would you invest to get the knowledge to get those people out of that locked room? And you know what I want to know? How many hours would you work to get that knowledge to free those people from that locked room? How many hours? So Tamika, you're willing to pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per client. How many hours are you willing to work to get that knowledge, to get those people from that room? And I'm asking these questions for a reason. There's a method to my madness. 40 hours. Is that a week? All right, I'm going to move on. All right, 40 hours a week. All right. Monique says 5 to 10%. How many hours, Monique? So I'm going to tell you a little bit of just a smidget about me. So I used to think that, you know, this imaginary wall, okay? So this is a metaphor, right? I used to think this imaginary wall was keeping me from my dream of business ownership, right? I didn't realize the value of my gifts and my talents. I was too embarrassed to ask for help. Like Lakeisha would tell you now, I still struggle with asking for help. And I was quick to volunteer my services to other people and that damn job of mine. All right. So I used to think that business ownership was just a far-fetched idea. But that was before I learned that I had to have a plan and strategies and processes in place in order for me to realize business ownership and be successful at business ownership. So why do you need a lead generation strategy, right? So I said all of that to say this. Why do you need a lead generation strategy? It's a key piece of the puzzle. It's a key piece to your puzzle. If you have a solid plan of action, you'll be prepared. So a lead generation strategy is not, oh, I got to go find people, right? It's what do you do? Number one, what do you do to find those people? And then what do you do when you find them? And having a strategy forces you to take daily action. I've said this before in the group. There are two things that you should be doing, at least two things that you should be doing every day if you want to have a successful virtual assistant business. That is lead generation and lead nurturing every single day. Because the more you do it, the more results you get. Lead generation is a numbers game. And with those numbers, quality does beat quantity, but you do need a lot of quantity. And you need to have a multimodal approach. All right, so there's different ways you can get leads. You can get them from your friends and family, coworkers, former coworkers, former bosses, attending in-person networking events, referral programs, joint ventures, ads, social media, email marketing. So when you have a lead generation strategy, you don't want to just focus on one thing. You want to have multiple ways of getting an influx of leads. Now today, because we only have a short amount of time, today we're only going to focus on the most common approach, which is the lead magnet approach. So here's just a very high level flow of how it looks. You have a lead magnet that attracts your ideal client. You capture that lead, you continue to nurture that lead and eventually convert that lead into a client. Very basic, very high level, simple process. So let's talk a little bit about lead magnets. So lead magnets are also called freebies or freemiums. And when you have a lead magnet, ladies, you want to make sure that they're useful and relevant. And how do you know if it's going to be useful or relevant to your target audience? That's where your market research comes in. Just because you think your lead magnet on the best ways to organize your inbox is something that might be helpful to your target market, that actually might be completely useless to them. Completely useless. So that's why in other presentations that I've done, I've encouraged people to do market research. Ask your target, just directly ask them. What would be helpful for you to help you in your business as far as administrative stuff is concerned? Just ask. And some examples of lead magnets or freebies would be like how-to guides, checklists, a short ebook, some sort of resource lists, tips and tricks, right? Even an infographic. So for me, one of my big lead magnets for my virtual assistant agency is a virtual assistant hiring guide. So like the top, 15 questions to ask your virtual assistant before bringing them on board. Super helpful. Super helpful. All right. So now we're going to talk about the next step. After the lead magnet, you want to capture the lead, right? So you're going to capture the lead via some sort of opt-in page. So in order for them to get your freebie, they have to enter in their email. And once you capture the email has to go somewhere. So it goes into your email marketing platform. But ladies, it doesn't stop there. You have to frequently nurture your leads, right? So now that you have them on your email list, they're considered a subscriber. So you want to frequently email your subscribers. And there are plenty of free platforms that you can use to build landing pages and collect email addresses. I personally use MailChimp. Some people like MailerLite. If you're fancy, ConvertKit and Infusionsoft, plenty of platforms that you can use to capture leads. And again, you want to continually nurture your leads. So, and it doesn't have to be something like, oh, buy from me now. Oh, I have this new service. It could be something as simple as a newsletter, you posting relevant information on your Facebook business page. And when you do social media posts, you want to vary your social media posts. So you know how I said infographics, things like that. So you want to have a combination of like text, video, so Facebook Lives. That's like all the rage right now. And I would encourage you to do your Facebook Lives from your business page instead of your personal page. And then, of course, you want to send people like links to your blogs. If you don't have a blog, you can create a Facebook business page and put your blog into the notes section of your Facebook business page. So you don't need to have like a traditional blog per se. So these are just different ways that you can nurture your leads. And of course, the whole Facebook group thing, the LinkedIn group thing, that's another way you can nurture your leads. So here's the lead conversion. So now, all right, so the lead wants a discovery call with you. So you conduct oh, y'all see that typo? Discovery call. I discovered I had a typo. Discovery call, you do the discovery call. And then right after that discovery call, you want to send a thank you note, and a follow-up email. No matter if the call went good, bad, or indifferent, you always want to send some sort of follow-up email. And then if it goes well, you book them. So I showed this in my last free webinar. It's basically the process of landing a client. So you have at the top where you are capturing your leads, then the lead requests a discovery call. you know, and then what to do with the lead when the lead books or when the lead doesn't book. All right, you send them follow-ups. And I would suggest sending follow-ups until they say, leave me the hell alone, or until they book a discovery call with you. All right. So that is my brief presentation. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the wall. Again, if there were 10 clients behind that wall that were ready and willing to hire you ASAP, how much time would you invest in that? Can you really see yourself? And again, this is not a rhetorical question. Could you really see yourself doing lead generation every day? Because here's the thing, folks. Again, lead generation and sales is a numbers game. They say that on average, you make 10% of all your 10% of your sales. So that means if you want to book 10 people a month, you have to reach 100 people. That's a lot of people. But as long as you have a plan and you're prepared and you have some sort of strategy in place, it's going to save you so much time and so much headache. So again, are you really willing to put in the work? I just want to ask people, like, how does this sound? Does it sound like a lot of work? And if it does, well, let's talk about it. So Tamika says once she completes her marketing plan and rebranding, she could dedicate 90 minutes a day to lead generation. That's perfect. That's not a lot. Lakeisha says it's not overwhelming as long as you have a good system. And I totally agree. I totally agree. So does anyone have any questions about what I talked about today? If you were on the live, please type in your questions into the comment section. If you were on the webinar via Zoom, please type your questions into the chat. And I'll pause for a minute to see if people have questions. So one of the questions was, how often is too often to reach out to people? I say every day is good. As long as you are providing valuable content, you're not going to be a nuisance. As long as you're not constantly pitching to people, you're not going to be a nuisance. They say sometimes it takes up to 12 times for someone to see some sort of marketing, some sort of piece of your marketing for them to actually consider buying from you. 12 times. So if you're only sending out a newsletter once a month, it's going to take you a whole damn year to book a client. Think about that. And like I said, the rule in sales is you get 10% of your sales. So if you send out an email marketing campaign once a month to all your contacts, that's not enough. That's not enough. Yes, absolutely, Tamika, every day. Does anyone have any questions? Because if there's no more questions, I'll close out the presentation. But I just really want you guys to think about what it takes to actually build a sustainable business operation, what it actually takes to get an influx of leads. And then Tamika says, is the content marketing calendar the everyday content? Absolutely, that's part of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if anyone needs more guidance, like I said, part of this presentation was taken from my new course that I just developed. It's called Stop Dreaming and Start Building. It's a 16-week boot camp for new virtual assistants. It starts next week, Tuesday, so 7 days from today. And we meet every day live at 7 p.m. Eastern time for 16 weeks. And if you are interested in doing the boot camp, you can sign up at bit.ly, so bit.ly/start building bootcamp. And so Brenda says she is working a full-time job and trying to build her business, so time varies. What suggestions do you have that will work for me? Using automation, using workflows. Let technology work for you. Let technology work while you're asleep. Let technology work while you're at work. So Tamika, it could be an indirect contact. It could be a message per person. All right. So if you guys need more guidance and have more questions, I encourage you to sign up for the bootcamp. We already have a few people signed up for it. If you sign up today, you will get 50% off your first month membership off the Inner Circle. So the Inner Circle is our private paid membership where you get exclusive benefits, such as like virtual co-working sessions, brainstorming sessions. You get exclusive content. So I know I go live a lot in the group, but you'll be getting a lot more information from me if you join the Inner Circle. So if you sign up for this boot camp today, you will get an access code to get 50% off your first month off the Inner Circle, should you decide to sign up for that. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So that's it for the presentation. If you do have any further questions after today, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me in the group, or you can also shoot me an email. So you can book a call with me and I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to speak with you, okay? So thank you again, everyone who jumped on this evening. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to get just a little smidget of knowledge about lead generation. All right, so thank you again. Have a great evening, and I'll see y'all in the circle. Bye.